Hello everyone, you are watching a snippet of the countdown program from August 7, 2023, today is Monday. See the full version on Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. Starting from September, all the most important things will be only on Patreon. And I'm moving on to the main topic. The oligarchy and the Kremlin are united as never before. The top of the fascist elites demonstrates love for Putin to the grave. Mother War feeds them well. On the surface, two scenarios for the survival of the system are visible. The first is with Putin, the second is without him. Under Putin, repressions inside the cave will have to exterminate everyone who, even in their thoughts, admits the slightest disloyalty to the leader, and the available technologies will make it possible to repress even worse than under Stalin. Wanted the death penalty? Get it, but in a hybrid form. From January 1 to July 31, 2023, at least 80 criminal cases were opened in Russia on treason, espionage and similar crimes against the state. However, the actual number of cases may be much higher. At the same time, the caveman thinker Inozentsev notes the unprecedented merging of elites with the fascist elite. Today, government and business are united like never before, he writes. Despite all the offshore, dual citizenship and even insults, at least until the end of the special operation, peace reigned in its deep rear. And only in Vilnius and London, Berlin and Paris, the oppositionists are blissfully dreaming about the inevitable split of the elites, the end of the quote. This unity of maniacs is quite understandable. After all, they are all accomplices, and are closely watching the fate of those who broke away and repented, in the hope of forgiveness of the West. Say, look how the Friedman-Chubaisyatin toils, staggering through the back streets of the West in the last rags. This is all that remains of the former, and now frozen luxury. So let us rally around the leader, who allows us not to lose, but even to increase capital. The wealth of the richest businessman from Russia has increased by more than $34 billion in total since the beginning of 2023. Vagit Alekperov, the founder of Lukoil, became the leader in terms of capital gains. His fortune has grown by almost $6 billion. Vladimir Potanin's fortune has grown by $1.20 billion since the beginning of the year. Leonid Mikhelsen has become richer by $2.70 billion. The main owner of NLMK Vladimir Lisin has become rich by almost $5 billion. 2023 included 25 Russians. To whom is the war, and to whom is the mother dear? How can one not rally around the Führer, the guarantor of the war, in which rivers of blood turn into a seething cash flow? Moreover, Putin himself is not going to retreat, and his ventriloquist Peskov openly declares that special elections guarantee re-election to the leader. And in general, our presidential election is not exactly a democracy, but rather an expensive bureaucracy. Putin will be re-elected next year with over 90% of the vote. The Kremlin also hopes for military assistance, which should come from Kim Jong-un after the visit to the DPRK defense Shoigu. Also on the agenda is a possible provocation against Poland and the Baltic countries. Putin did not abandon the plan to use Wagner PMC in a breakthrough along the Suwalki corridor towards Kaliningrad from Belarus. However, on the other side, they are also preparing and even named the period when something serious can happen. See this and other stories in full on Patreon. Become our patrons now and look further in this program. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, since the day of the invasion, the losses of the Rashists have reached 250,000 organisms. The day before, the propagandist Skabiva voiced the figure of 284,000 at all. What is this? Self-activity or deliberate stuffing from the Kremlin? The UAF strikes on the Chongarsky and Genekesk bridges are part of Ukraine's broader strategy as part of the evolving counter-offensive. The armed forces of Ukraine are approaching the Crimean Peninsula, methodically cutting off the Rashists from logistical lines and opportunities for easy escape from the occupied territories. In order for the Russians to come to the realization that their country is evil, it is necessary to change the angle and focus of vision on what is happening. And this can only happen as a result of some real practical shock. So far, Moscow is basking in luxury and abundance, not even remotely smelling the war. Everything is under construction, and even the Hollywood premieres true, pirated copies, but still take place on time. Watch our special story. And that is all. See the full program on Patreon. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. I hugged everyone. See you on Thursday. Glory to Ukraine.